Let's talk about different ways to get good feedback from our AI. Now, there's many different ways that we can do this for many different things. I'm going to talk about trying to get some good feedback from our AI specifically for some sort of written work that we've done. Okay. So the focus is going to be on we've written something and now we want to get feedback on it from the AI. Now, this can be done in many different ways. And we could simply give the AI our text and say, give me feedback. It could be as simple as that, give me feedback. And that will give us some feedback. But of course, we can do much more because we've developed AI literacy, and there's a good video that I have for that. But with that, we can use an advanced prompt formula. So we can use an advanced prompt formula, and with that, we can get even better feedback. So I'm going to show you a couple different things here and a couple different ways to do that. So let's start with something simple as far as, hey, I've written an essay, and let's go with the assumption that I'm a student and I've written an essay, and so now I have to submit it, and I'm going to be evaluated based off of a rubric. So now I can use that. I can take the rubric and I can take my essay, give it to the AI, and ask it to evaluate it. So that part is relatively simple. So here's an example of that. The only thing I would have to say is something like, please provide feedback on my writing based on a rubric I will provide. Your feedback should highlight the strengths, identify areas for improvement, and offer actionable suggestions on how to improve without rewriting the assignment. So that's key in order for me to maintain academic integrity. If I'm a student, it would be very important for me to do that, to say that specifically. And sure enough, I simply upload the documents needed and it gives me great feedback. Here it is, it's giving me strengths, it's giving me areas to improve, it's talking about what I should do, and then it gives me some actionable suggestions for improvement. Enhance the transitions, clarify cultural context, strengthen the conclusion. Great. Very good, usable feedback that I got from my essay. Now, the key thing there is that I'm giving it my text for it to evaluate, but I'm also giving it that rubric. So my formula there, my prompt, it wasn't that advanced. Why? Because a majority of the content was within that rubric. So the rubric is actually an aspect of that prompt because it feeds in a bunch more of instructions for the AI to use to give me feedback. But let's do it without uploading a rubric, right? Let's say that I'm a professor now, or I'm going to show you the example of a professor, but you could assume that maybe I'm just writing a business report. It's a similar type of thing. So let's go with that assumption. So now I'm going to be uploading my document, but I'm also going to be giving it a much more detailed prompt because I don't have a rubric to go off of. So in this case, I'm uploading some research that I've done, and I'm asking it to help me and give me feedback as I prepare to submit this to, let's say, a research journal. So they're going to be evaluating it. It's going to be a peer review type thing. So I'm asking the AI to assume that role to give me that type of feedback. So now when I go into ChatGPT or whichever AI you'd like to use, my prompt is actually much longer. I'm just going to read you the first part here where I say, please act as an academic journal reviewer, provide a comprehensive peer review of my academic journal article. Please evaluate the paper with the same level of rigor as a peer-reviewed journal, highlighting strengths, weaknesses, and offering actionable suggestions for improvement. Ensure that your feedback is aligned with the expectations of academic journals and helps increase the likelihood of my paper being accepted for publication. From there, the rest of it gives more specific instructions as to how a peer reviewer would go through and actually analyze my document. So there it's talking about making sure that there's a good title and abstract, the introduction and research questions, literature review, methodology, all specific aspects of a good research article. So I'm putting all of that within my actual prompt. And don't worry, I'll put this prompt in the comment section so that you'll have it there if you'd like to use it. So from there, I simply upload my actual document, and then it goes through and yeah, it does a peer review on it, and it gives me very good information, detailed information, talking about some strengths, some areas to improve, weaknesses, suggestions for the improvement, and then it'll go through and break it down step by step so that it really gives me information that can help me. It can really give me information that would make the difference as to whether this will be accepted or not by that type of research journal. And the prompt there that I'm going to share with you is somewhat generalizable in that it can be used for virtually any type of journal that you're going to be submitting to. But of course, you should always read the specifics of that journal to see if maybe they have some additional things that they're going to be looking for. So make sure that you add that to the prompt. Because remember, any type of prompt can be modified for whatever you need it to do. So take that into account. Now, a lot of you will be thinking, oh, hey, wait a second. I'm not going to be uploading my content to an AI because then it'll just simply steal it and take it and then use it to train future AI models. Well, yeah, that's a real possibility. And in fact, with ChatGPT, it used to be where they would specifically state, no, we definitely won't do that. But now they will be using your information to train future models or to do more research unless you opt out. So you have to make sure that you're going into the actual system, going to the specifics within the settings, and then opting out of them being able to do that. So at least ChatGPT allows you to do that. So you need to make sure that you check with the AI, with the terms of service, to make sure that, hey, your content is safe and secure and it's being used the way that you want it to. Maybe you don't mind for it to do that. I don't mind when I put up stuff, but you do have to check some legalities as far as stuff that you're putting up there and if it's going to be used for something else like a research journal or maybe a publication somewhere else for something else like that. So those are all free options. Great. They work very well. They're very usable. And there's also some other thing that we should look into. And these are specific companies that have the same type of thing, but it's structured in a way with a wrapper so that it's still using AI, but it's modified in a way to help you to go through this process. And I'm going to give you one example. There's plenty of examples out there, lots of companies. I've looked at many of them, but this is one that I found that, hey, this is actually really good, really usable. In fact, I'm using it right now to prepare for an entry for some research that I'm doing. So let's go through this. So the company or group that I'm talking about is called Thesify. And this is really interesting. It's really nice. You go in there. It's not too complicated. So it's designed here to give you feedback on your writing. It says that it's trusted by many different companies and organizations. So here you have a listing of different ones and it says trusted by more than 10,000 academics in leading universities. Nice. So the way it works is quite simple. They break it down here into 4 steps. You upload your PDF or Word file. You answer a few questions so that, again, the AI understands a bit more as far as what you're looking for. And then you get this expert feedback. And then you can also edit directly through the platform. And a very important thing, so that I don't bury the lead here, is that specifically states that your data is safe and that it's not going to be available to other customers. It's not available to any AI. It's not going to be used to train future models, and it's not used to enhance any third-party products. Now, this was very important to me as far as I wanted to know specifically, is this going to be safe as far as the information that's uploaded? Because we have to think about, hey, yeah, I'm preparing a submission to some research journal, and the research journal might specifically ask you, hey, has anyone else seen this? Has it been published anywhere else, right? So yes, they specifically state that no one else is going to have access to this. And it states that right there on their website, but I wanted to go even further. So I actually contacted this group, this company, and I asked them specifically this question. I would like clarification on your terms of service where it says that we do not assert any ownership over your contributions. And I said, does this mean that your organization will not use or resell anything that is uploaded to the AI for review? My viewers always want to know if their information is safe and won't be resold or used to train a future AI model. They responded and they said, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for your interest in our product. Data privacy is indeed of highest priority for us. Uploaded content remains the sole property of their respective authors, copyright holders. We are neither using uploaded documents to train AI models or selling any data, including uploaded documents, to third parties. We do count the types of documents uploaded, papers, essays, reports, etc., to know what our users need most. To improve our reviews, we are using publicly available review data sets. So that's great. And that's exactly what we're looking for, where they are willing to, that right there is evidence, right, to specifically state, no, we're not going to reuse your information. Great. So, okay, now we have that out of the way. Now I want to show you exactly how I went through to use their actual product because I really liked it. That's why I'm telling you about this, is that this is yet another tool that you could use to go through this. So this is the first page you see where it says pre-submission assessment, and you simply put your document up there. Now, you are limited in that it says maximum of 10 megabytes. So depending on how you have your content put together, you might need to modify it, meaning if there's a bunch of images in there or something like that. But for most text, 10 megabytes is more than enough. It'll ask you a couple different questions, details about the document, such as are you the author? And then a part that I really like here is select the type of document. So this could be a scientific paper, a thesis, an essay, a grant proposal. That could be very useful. A report, like a business report, annotated bibliography, or something else. This really helps to define the prompt. Remember, in the background, this is also using an advanced prompt formula. But the cool thing is that just by answering a couple of questions, it creates this all for you. So in just a few minutes, it evaluates everything and you're faced with a screen like this, where it shows your paper right there, and then it also gives you the feedback and the information on the right. This is great. You simply click where you need to, and now you can modify what you actually see so you can make the overall feedback much bigger. And now this gives you very good actionable information. And you have all these other options here with digest, resources, and collections. So when you go into that, the digest breaks it down so that it's basically giving you the specific aspects of your paper, your writing. The resources gives you access to many different references, resources that might pertain to this if you need additional content. And then collections are collections that you have associated with your account. Now, I want to make sure that you understand that I did all this for free because you do get 10 free credits monthly. Additionally, I want to highlight the cost of this, which is only €2.49 per month. So that equates to around $3 a month. So that is actually not too bad, right? And I like the fact that this could be monthly or yearly. So this is at least somewhat manageable because so many of the other tools out there are very expensive, $20, $30. You're already paying for a subscription to that. You might as well get something like AI, like ChatGPT, more advanced version, or a paid subscription to Grok, something like that, because the prices are just crazy. But I like these prices because they're a bit more manageable. But even in the free tier, you get 10 free credits. Now, you have to be careful with those 10 free credits because that is about maybe one or two papers. Because remember, every time that you upload something and then you access the different contents, like the different parts that I showed you there, as far as the feedback or the digest or the resources, that's all using a token there. So you have to remember that as you're going through. So the more that you use it, the more tokens that are being used. So I really liked Thesify because it gave me really good feedback, really good usable information. And I definitely felt at peace using it because of what they were able to tell me specifically. And throughout their website, it specifically says, yeah, that no one else is going to see your information. So I felt definitely safe. So I would definitely recommend Thesify. I'll put a link in the description as well as in the comments. But that's only if you have money to spend, right? That's a great option. But I would also think about combining several things, right? Because you have the ability to use AI, free ChatGPT, free Grok, free Claude, whatever is your favorite AI, for portions of it, for portions of what you're doing. Give me feedback on this sentence. Give me feedback on maybe this paragraph or this part of a paragraph. You can do that as you continually work on your creation of your document. So there's many different ways. It's not an all or nothing where I have to submit everything and then bring it back down. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Now, again, I'm talking about using AI as an assistive tool, not as simply writing everything for you. That would be something different, right? Right now, we're just simply talking about feedback. So my overall suggestion would be, hey, if you can't afford to get Thesify, to use the free credits there until maybe you're ready to get a full subscription, but you could always use regular AI to develop it, put it all together, and then use Thesify for sort of a final review because it is much more enhanced. The user interface is very nice, very easy. And in the background, they are very much tuned in to what it is and what it takes to be able to get success, to find success when you're going through and trying to get published within a research journal. So I'm using it for what I'm doing right now. I'll give you a feedback. Maybe I'll write an update here to see how well it did as far as getting accepted, but that would be definitely in the future. So Yeah, recommend Thesify. Use AI as well to develop. Use Thesify for sort of a final review, putting it all together. That's how you can get very good feedback overall. So we're using our AI literacy, we're combining it with tools, we're using free capabilities. If need be, we can get a subscription if you have that capability. Putting it all together, that's how we use AI as a tool to do more things, to reach higher levels. Again, with this understanding of, hey, I have AI literacy, I have foundational knowledge, this is being used to enhance my capabilities, not as a crutch. That's the big thing that we have to remember for ourselves as well as for our students. We're setting them up for success, and we're being that good example of using AI effectively in that way. Okay, I'm very interested to see what are your thoughts. Please check out what I've said here. Go to Thesify, check that out, see what you think, and then let me know. I'd love to get your feedback. I'd love to understand your thoughts on using AI for feedback. Together, we'll continue to learn from each other as we develop this channel and we develop our community of inquiry. And remember, learning is for life. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe so that we can continue to learn and develop together.